Well, we have an open door policy here at CJD 800, and if someone who's politically connected shows up at our doors, we'll put them on air. Who's walked through our doors here on the corner of Papineau and René-Lévesque? It's none other than Désirée McGraw, Liberal MNA for Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, official opposition critic on multiple things because they're, you got to multitask these days. Can I call you Désirée?
Please call me Désirée.
You're okay with that?
100%.
Love the name, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
One or two accents?
Two. So it's like Désirée in French, McGraw. So it's very bilingual.
I love it. Okay, so there's a couple things we want to talk about this morning. First things first, let's talk about leadership, but in various ways. I actually want to talk about American leadership off the bat with you, okay? Because I have it on good authority. You've spent the last little while traveling through the U.S. and going to big official events, I think, with American politicians. I did not know this. You're a dual citizen. You are American and Canadian.
I am. My mom was raised in Michigan. My dad's from Minnesota. And I spent the last couple of weeks meeting with American legislators, Republican and Democrat, as representing or co-representing Quebec with other MNAs at national conventions of legislators.
So this was official business. It was.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
And they 100%. Allow this? You can be an American and be in the National Assembly? I thought that'd be illegal or something.
I am Canadian first. Let us be very clear. I am Canadian. I'm born and raised here. I am a very proud Canadian, a very proud Quebecer and Montrealer. But I happen to be an American citizen through my parents as well, which does give me the right to vote. I think if you become a minister or something else, you then have to look at revoking.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
if
a
you
whole
become
other
a ministry,
story.
you might have to revoke. You have to look into
certain
that.
Positions, Supreme Court justices, etc. I'm not there in my career at this point. Who knows, Elias? Maybe in a couple of years we'll have a new conversation.
If you got there, you would not hesitate to renounce.
I am Canadian first.
Okay, fantastic. Yes. That is very
Canadian
good to hear.
Canadian and Quebec are 100% first. But I happen to be an American citizen, which does give me the right to vote.
You mentioned Minnesota there.
Yes.
It's not lost on me this week. So, Westmount High School graduate.
Yes.
Also running for president, but that's not as important as the Westmount High School thing. Picked her VP, her running mate.
Yes.
Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota. You got any connections with the governor?
I don't have personal connections, but one of my cousins, Ann Lincheski, was a state senator in Minnesota, so she knows him well. And he was a high school teacher and football coach in Mankato, where my uncle, who has 12 kids and their grandchildren, and used to run a John Deere dealership. It's a farming. My family's a bunch of farmers. Some of them are Democrats, like my cousin Ann. Some are card-carrying Republicans, and even Trump supporters. So we have all stripes in the family, but yes. He was coaching in Mankato, some of my cousins' children. So there's no direct connection with me personally, but apparently he's a really good guy.
Okay, well, that's interesting to know. And can I just say, I'm detecting, maybe I'm off base here, I am detecting in the accent a little bit of that Minnesota in you right now.
Well, I think Minnesotans will tell you they feel like they're almost Canadian. So maybe their accent sounds like ours.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so from American leadership, and boy, it's always fun to watch what happens in the States, whether it's Kamala or Trump and Tim Walz, all that kind of stuff, and the guy with the couches. All of that is fun to watch. But let's talk about Quebec leadership, okay? So your party... There is a lot of stuff happening with the Quebec Liberal Party where it seems like people are testing the waters, trying to decide. I know this week there was a big story about Pablo Rodriguez, who's a federal liberal. And I don't know, the federal liberals, they don't have the greatest smell on them right now. But Pablo Rodriguez, maybe he's going to think about running. Frederic Beauchemin, was on this program this week. He had some tough words for Ottawa and spending and encroaching on provincial jurisdiction. Seems like on our show, he's like, I'm not sure if I'm running yet, but maybe. So he's testing the waters. Denis Coderre, as we know, he's been having spaghetti dinners all over the place. He's in it. What's your take on the leadership race for the Quebec Liberal Party? Do you have a horse in this race, Désirée?
So first of all, I'm super excited. I think we have some amazing candidates, and it's to the credit of the party that we're able to attract some outstanding citizens and leaders. So kudos to all of the candidates and potential candidates. I will say I'm particularly excited about the possibility of my longtime friend and fellow liberal Pablo Rodriguez, who, as I say, I've known for 20 years. We worked together in the Federal Liberal Party, rebuilding the party at a very difficult time from 2004 onward. I think he's demonstrated that he can rebuild parties. He has obviously been the Quebec lieutenant, won 3 elections here. But more than that, I think this leadership race and ultimately the next election will be not just about what kind of economy we want to have, but what kind of society. And I believe that Pablo embodies the Quebec dream. I think he has a very compelling story, and if he runs, he will have my full support.
Okay, so this is very interesting because that was certainly a full-on endorsement of Pablo Rodriguez.
100%.
Then it followed up with if he runs.
Mm-hmm.
But it certainly sounds like it's not an if. If you've known him for 20 years and you just said that statement, it's going to happen.
I think he's having important conversations, serious conversations. I think he's also taking a couple of weeks to have a well-deserved vacation with his family. Mm-hmm. It's certainly very much my hope, but I'm not here to make any announcements other than if he chooses to do that, he will have my 200% full support because I think he represents the very best of Quebec. Mm. And I think he represents, in his own story as a political refugee, demonstrates that when you set up citizens and newcomers for success rather than failure, which is what the Quebec CAC is doing, these people could go on to make incredible contributions to our society.
So here's my question when I hear that. Pablo Rodriguez has been part of a federal liberal government, the Justin Trudeau Liberals, that are not very popular right now. They have been doing poorly. A lot of people would say it's because of politics and the ideology that they've led this country on the path for the last 9 years. You think that record coming from the Trudeau Liberals is going to resonate with Quebecers and voters?
I'm not going to comment on the federal Liberals as a provincial MNA. I'm going to say that I think Pablo Rodriguez, his story, his deep knowledge, not just of Montreal, but all of Quebec, of all of the regions, and what he stands for, what he represents as an incredible organizer and leader, I think he's exactly what this province needs. And my hope is that he will run.
But you must say to yourself, well, I'm impressed with his record as a federal politician. You're impressed by how he's done as a cabinet minister. That's what you're saying here. You've seen good things in Ottawa that you think should come to Quebec, and he should make that jump.
I hope he makes that jump, and I think the strengths and the positives would far outweigh any negatives that may exist.
So this is very big. This is big news. I got to say that you're going on the record here and giving an endorsement. Do you think other Liberals will be as forthcoming as you in the next little while? Do you think we're going to start to see that?
You'll have to ask them. Well, I think people are going to start showing. Tomorrow is the launch of our political season for the Quebec Liberals. By the way, the Quebec Liberals are the roots of Pablo Rodriguez. He started with the Commission Jeunesse, which is meeting tomorrow, and he was then poached, and as so many talents are from Quebec to the federal level. So he would be coming back home. So let's just be clear about that. So I think that's a launch, and I think you'll be seeing a lot more over the coming days and weeks as people begin to position themselves. Tomorrow is the official launch. So yeah, I think it's safe to say you'll be hearing a lot more.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you before I have to let you go just about the healthcare situation, the language directives, open letter this morning from the CAQ government. What is your response from that open letter from the trio of ministers and the Liberal Party, which I think the Anglophone community really needs to hear from them right now?
100%. And I think André Fortin, who is our health critic, and Greg Kelly, who's our English-speaking critic, have been very clear. This thing we've been asking for some time now is to have clarity and to respect the rights of Quebecers and users to be served in the language that they are comfortable with. When you're in the healthcare system, you are by definition in a position of vulnerability, and you do not need to be worrying about language. You just need to be worrying about the care. But once again, this government chooses what divides us instead of what unites us. So it's too little too late. They've created confusion. They should have led with this position. And so I'm glad it's out there, and they should take us up. We've been asking, meet with the English-speaking community and the leaders and the community organizations, which they said they are now going to do. It's taken them a while to catch up, but I'm glad they're finally landing there, because the previous position of asking people for eligibility certificates, many Anglophones, particularly elderly ones, do not have eligibility certificates. One of my constituents who had just graduated from high school, 100% Anglophone, but chose to go to French school, couldn't even get her eligibility certificate 1 week after she graduated. So let alone people decades later. So absolutely unacceptable. People deserve, and it is a right, not a privilege, to be served in your language.
Désirée McGraw, the MNA for NDG. Thank you so much.
Thank you.